Chama cha Mapinduzi, the ruling party in Tanzania, under the chairmanship of His Excellency Comrade John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, we are very prepared and well geared for the upcoming 2020 general elections that would summit with the 28th of October, the voting day. We are prepared to win with a landslide victory, and this victory does not come out of our very well-prepared, scientifically done campaigns, but this victory is going to come because of our investment that we have done in Tanzania for the last 5 years. His Excellency Comrade John Pombe Joseph Magufuli and Chama cha Mapinduzi has led Tanzanians to the heights that we've never experienced before. During his 5 years tenure, Comrade Magufuli has managed to implement developmental projects that are strategic, developmental projects that have had a great impact in the economic performance of Tanzania, development projects that have had a tremendous impact to the well-being and lives of Tanzanians. We've seen a number of projects, infrastructure projects. We've seen a number of projects in the health sector. Hospitals have been built at district level, at regional level, at ward level. Health practitioners have been hired. Medical equipment have been deployed to the constructed hospitals at different levels. We've seen roads, huge road constructions in Tanzania, huge bridges in Tanzania, places where there were no tarmac roads. We've seen during this time of his leadership, tarmac roads have been constructed, opening up opportunities and geographical locations that were difficult to access this time around. That is no longer an issue. Just to mention a few, we've seen Tanzania becoming quite independent in terms of power generation in Tanzania. We are building one of the biggest in the East African region, one of the biggest hydropower dam by the name Mwalimu Nyerere hydropower project to generate electricity in the Rufiji area, and it would produce over 2,100 megawatts of electricity power. And that is just one project, but there are several others. And we have moved from 2,000 villages that had electricity back in 2015 to over 10,000 villages by 2019. And Tanzania has about 12,000 villages. So we're left with about 2,000 villages to have Tanzania powered, all of it by 2020, 2021. So all that is what ensures our victory by 28th of October this year. Tanzanians know that, Africans know that, and the international community know that. President Magufuli started with Tanzania having an economic status of a poor country, but by 2019, that was only a span of 4 years. Tanzania has managed to move one of the 2 or 3 countries in Africa from a poor state of economy to a middle income economy. That is a huge milestone to us, and Tanzanians would reward us accordingly. Insisting all the time that peace and security is of paramount importance to Tanzania. We have remained to be an isle of peace in Tanzania. We are popularly known as a haven of peace, particularly Dar es Salaam and the entire country of Tanzania. We couldn't have done all that if peace was a problem. So peace and security is very important, number one. National unity is very important. Tanzania is the only union in the world that we have right now where 2 independent sovereign states came together to form the United Republic of Tanzania. So we have the most uniquest, if I would put it that way, union in the world. So unity of all Tanzanians, unit of all. In Tanzania, we have tribes, over 120 tribes, but all of us are united by one language, Kiswahili. So unity of Tanzanians, peace and security, but development for all Tanzanians. Of course, peace would come out of, justice, but justice also comes out of individual rights and duties. And Comrade Magufuli has managed within his tenure to ensure that justice in Tanzania is given to Tanzanians. So we insist that togetherness, peace, harmony would leave us much better like never before. Those statements from the oppositions are fictitious, fabricated, lies. Tanzanians are aware of what is happening. Our campaigns led by Comrade Magufuli have set an example. Himself, he's been a champion of very fair and civilized campaigns. He has focused himself to talk about policies, to explain the contents of our manifesto. We've not taken down our campaign to focus on individual politicians, be it from the opposition. We are focusing on where we have come from, where we are, and our visions for the future. The 5 years have been a success to us, and what we are planning is to take Tanzanians to much greater heights with the same speed and vigor. As Dr. Magufuli himself has made it very clear that we would continue to work tirelessly to develop this country. We have a popular Swahili phrase, hapa kazi tu. So we are not derailed by these fictitious statements by the opposition. But despite the fact that our campaigns are very scientific and very civilized, we have received a very negative reception from the opposition. As we speak, it is the opposition that have used hate speech, that have mobilized the masses for disorder. We have witnessed deaths caused by the opposition. In one Tanzanian region in Njombe, a young man was killed by the opposition members. It's very unfortunate. We've seen similar incidences in Songwe region, where a similar incident took place and a life was costed. We've seen an incident in Pemba, Zanzibar, whereby members of the opposition attacked CCM members who were attending prayers on a Friday there. It's unfortunate, but we have continued to insist that the police continues to make sure that there is a peace, security, and order, and that everybody should live by, the electoral laws, because the elections so far, in my opinion, I would say they've been free and fair, and each one of us, political parties, CCM and the opposition, have had a fair share of time. Only that the opposition at a particular point also gave threatening statements to the national broadcaster, TBC, similar to Malawi Broadcasting Corporation. They've never taken back the statements, and that somewhere, somehow has taken away the freedom of media to cover equally the rallies from political parties engaged in the general elections. It is for the first time in Tanzania that this general election has been 100% funded by the Tanzanian government, by the Tanzanian people. From 1995, 2000, 2005, 2010, and 2015, electoral funding to conduct the elections hugely came from donors, Western countries. But this time around, the general elections of 2020, they are 100% funded by the Tanzanian people. This has enabled us to be more sensitive, be more responsible. We are advocating for the policies that are people-centered, because we know we have no influence from outside Tanzania that does not represent the will of our people. So I am also calling for other sister parties, including the Malawi Congress Party, led by Comrade Chakwera, the president of Malawi, but also other former liberation movements and parties, to take this example that Comrade Magufuli has done. The forefathers, those ones who led us to independence, they fought for political liberation. And the duty that remains with our generation is to liberate Africa economically. And one important aspect is to have free and fair elections, is to have them funded by our own resources.
Mama yo, na tumesha wasimai.